Yo. It's nice and white, grayish, twilight looking outside. Yo. Make sure I'm not looking hit. You know, I'm feeling well in the inkwell, but you know, I just want to make sure I'm not looking hit. Oh. Many people might not know, but I have a speech impediment, so not many people like y'all think about me. Cause I ain't thinking about you. Okay, but I have a speech impediment that I don't like to let come out. But like, if you ever notice how like once in a while, the way I speak won't line up with my lips, or you know, I'll go ahead of myself. I don't know how to explain that, but I just start talking like this. I mean, not really, but like. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the speech impediment bites. Okay. I see why y'all do this little moment of recollection and because it's hard to compose all this shit when you got vroom, 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 vroom. I mean, I'm not live. Duh. But I'm fucking, I'm not. I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay. You know, I'm starting to realize just how deep the replay goes in our code as beings. Beyond humans, beyond our ideology as humans, and beyond ideologies of other entities. Replay, or I should say, it's replay, but it's like allowing a whole movie to continuously loop, but it's open. It's like a wiki movie. It's still playing. It's always playing, and it's looped, but it's opened to being messed with at certain parts. Now, because it is open to being messed with, thus the characters, the settings, the motives, the themes, the likenesses, the writing styles, the authors are all open to being changed. And because of that, pink to a purple. Okay. Pinky in the brain. It's funny. I really fuck with Pinky. Blues Clues. Anyway, oh yeah, wiki movie. Everything is open to interpretation, but everything is also open to inception and conception. Oh. Okay, now because of that, my nigga, what's up, Pinky? What's good, nigga? Because of that, you have the ability now to step outside the means of adaptation, or the preferred lines of adaptation. What do I mean? That means that because of the story, everything about the story, everything within the story, everything orchestrated by the story is open to interpretation, inception, and conception. That means that the shit that's within it or outside of it that believes it is only, it is only a product and a placement of that whole picture, because they believe they are only that, a thing dwelling within the happenings, the happenstance. They relinquish control over the movings and shakings of said story and all effects of the story. Now, because they relinquish control or relinquish awareness, they relinquish they relinquish awareness, they relinquish they relinquish the awareness of the intercommunicating awareness for a momentary awareness, or for the awareness of the momentary awareness. You follow me? You'll be able to do the doop doop or doop doop, and you'll figure it out. 10-second dash is what I'm trying to point to. Anyway, so because they relinquish control, or relinquish the awareness of control, because they relinquish the awareness of control, which is control is awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know. Because they relinquish that, they now have to adapt. Now, the code to adapt is still within them. That is the difference between a voluntary and involuntary system within the body, within your body, within all bodies. The adaptation, the evolution is on a time scale, if you want to think about it like that. Evolution versus revolution. Evolution versus revolution. Now, again, you can combine the two, but evolution and revolution. Now, why versus? Everything is always versus. Vesica, the bisection, the versatility, verse, my nigga. But they now become adaptable, or they now have to adapt to whomever changes the story, to whomever puts the layout down, whatever. Now, for those who do not give up that awareness, we're not going to talk about the processes in between all that, but for those who do not give up that awareness of control, which is just an awareness of the awareness and all the different types of awareness, the awareness of awareness, the awareness of awareness, the awareness of awareness, because they do not give that up, they now can go beyond adaptability. They step into, okay, Q. You knew not to totally knock inevitability. Now they step into, it's different. Okay. Now I'm just going, man. They step into inevitability, cause and effect. Now, again, everything is always, cause and effect, especially if you relinquish the awareness of awareness. If you relinquish control, you never do. That's the whole point. But when you relinquish control, you are open to the bare and rawness of cause and effect unknowingly. But when you do not relinquish control, and that's all you do, just up until that point, you do not relinquish control. You are using both your voluntary and involuntary system. You are still open to the story, but now the story fits you into a plot point, a center plot point. You were, I don't want to say fixed, but phased and situated in a position where that specific moment of sacrifice, of input, of activation is remembered in its full form as it is in that moment. Now, what does that mean? In order to do that, and what does that mean and in order to do that? What it means, you now have the ability to travel freely. You have the ability to travel freely. But again, you're still open to the system. Within the system, you're able to travel freely within the system. Now, when you go a step above, if you want to use that term, when you go beyond, when you leave adaptability, when you leave relinquishing control and you have control, the awareness of awareness, and then you go above that, if you want to use that system, then you are required, now that you've had that memory, that specific memory added to your cue, your universal cue, what's up, nigga? You now have a responsibility to produce something from that, to add to the equation. You have a responsibility. Now, to go back to that midpoint for a minute. The maintaining of control, awareness of awareness. You work within the system. But when you step above, you now can be within and without the system. But you still have a responsibility. Now, these stages, some would say, are stages of detachment. Yes. And no. There is no such thing as detachment. What are you detaching from? If you were to be as succinct and say that there is the vastness, the vast mother, the body, well, the body, and the void, Father. There's mother and father. There's nothing but the vast and the void. Then what are you detaching from? Because they're still, the union is what is produced. The union, no, excuse me, the union is already there, it was already there. But what is produced is between them. You could even go, if you want to say outside of them, but it's still them. You're still using them to get wherever you're going. So they're always going to be there. No matter how you try and flip the script and all that other shit, there is no detachment. There is nothing. There is nothing that is real about detachment. Or there is nothing that is founded and functioning. And even in nothingness, there is no detachment. Think about that. Even nothingness is not detachment. Nothing is not. It's not detached. It's not. Anyway. When you go above, and you go into, having that memory and having to produce something from that memory, you are now attached to that reality, a loop. Now, again, good and bad, I don't necessarily want to interject that into this, because this is about being. Good or bad is very young. Good or bad, good and bad, very young. It's not that it's not real. It's real. It's very real, but it's young. It's young. I'm not even talking about it is youth. There's a difference. It is young. It is very, 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 very young. Now the gods, the entities, the whatever you want to call all these other energies that are the universe, they're very old, and yet they maintain the likeness and the essence of children. They are childish, serving her, in serving her, in serving her, in serving her, inserting her, concerning her, kiss. Ooh. Anyway, what I'm really trying to get at is that the different stages of involvement within and without the matrix, it's levels to this shit, but depending on your involvement, what you are going through, what you have just come through, what you're about to go through, I won't say how you come out, but how you become whole in this situation is dependent upon where, how, when, and why you position yourself. And that's based all on who you are. Now, you are who you are. If you are who you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphone. Hey. Okay. If you are who you say you are, a superstar. What is a superstar? Check out Q Reeves. Check out Keith Garcia or Band of Letters. Check out Ashira Star Goddess. Check out Conjure Queen. Check out Osset Waku Terran. Check out the Hood Healer. Check out a lot of people. Check out a lot of people. Check into you, but check when you're out. Check out them. Now, why do I say that? A superstar, a super-star, super-star. What is a star? Star is rats backwards. But a star is an illumination. Numa elish. A star is an illumination. A epiphany, a puff of smoke. An epiphany providing focus. An epiphany providing focus. EPF. Interesting. An epiphany providing focus. Now, a star is an epiphany providing focus. Okay. Now, I love animation, illustration. What am I trying to say? Literature? Anime, and anime, graphic novels. What the fuck was it? Anime, graphic novels, shit like that. I like shit like that because that speaks to the truth. Now, Hollywood will play around on your shit and try and seed what that truth comes out as through you or comes into you as of you. Words. But the Hollywood would have it be that you are baptized in their image, baptized in their memory, baptized in their awareness. But they lack awareness. In reality, these niggas doing this shit really relinquish control. Evil live. Devil lived. You've relinquished control. Gotta take a shit. You've relinquished control. And in relinquishing control, what you have done is you play the character you suppose. Not super, but you suppose. Suppose. You supply a pose. You supplant a pose. And you stay in that pose. You're in that fixed position. And in that fixed position, you've aligned yourself to not change. Now, change is the only constant, as they say. But in being in a fixed position, you are... See, this is where the ideology of homosexuality comes from. What you have to understand is there's a very actual difference between sexuality and gender in the universe. Beyond your identity, it is, not beyond, let me not say that. Not simply encompassing your idea of identity. Biden, a split identity. Biding time. Oh. What was I saying? I don't know. Biden, identity, idea of identity. Oh, okay, gender, sexuality, all right. So gender and sexuality are very different. Now, mind you, sexuality focuses on separation, but also sex. That focuses on Saturn. Now, Saturn and Mercury share a composite with each other because you could say they're stealing each other's likenesses and energies to fulfill roles that they're really providing for each other by stealing it, both knowingly and unknowingly, but knowingly of the unknowing fact that it's unknown and knowing at the same time. The point is that them switching it from messenger and harbinger. Harbinger of death, messenger of life, if you want to distinguish it like that. That's the Saturn Mercury kind of thing, if you want to think about it like that. Anyway, because they're switching in and out, what they're showing you is that 6 holds on to perfection, and perfection perfect, per feature, per effect, per affection. Per affection. Per affection has to do with per. Now, what is per? Per. Cat does per. It's a sign of affection. Now, fee is blood. So, per, the affection, the sound, the vibration of affection. Perfection is the vibration of affection. Fine-tuned. The sound is the vibration of affection fine-tuned. Perfection. The vibration of affection fine-tuned. The providing of the vibration of affection fine-tuned. The providing, the provision of the vibration of affection fine-tuned. Now, what you would do is fuck up and attach value to that. Veil, a veil, an illusory wall, an illusory alignment, an illusory angle, veil. Yeah, an illusory angle. Now, you based in an illusory angle, you through a mirror, if you want to think about it like that. Although there's a difference between a mirror and an illusion. It's a very real difference, and they don't provide the differentiation sometimes, especially in literature, because they don't want you to understand that your reflection is a very real again, oh my gosh, real part of who you are. This is what this is all about, reflections. Now, names, titles are an abridging of the gap between you and your reflection, because it's a union. You have this in here, or out here, and that in there. Now, they are not the reflections of each other. They're the halves of their whole. This whole thing in and out is the child of the in and out. But them taking this form is reminding you, nigga, is reminding you that you share everything you have. If any of y'all are familiar with Star Wars and are familiar with the comics that were produced from the Star Wars franchise known as the EU, the expanded universe, which is like what they differentiate between canon and legends being the EU, whatever you want to call that shit. That's talking about all the storylines that I believe were influenced by all our former mythos here upon planet Earth, speaking on real happenings, real intentions, real identities. And in it, oh, Jesus, where was I going? You be flip-floppy, nigga. But where was I going? What the fuck was I talking about? Hold on, give me a moment. Star Wars, EU. Give me a moment. It's about to come back to me. Hey, whoa. 3, 2, 1, cero. Oh, value. Come on, Seto. Sorry, Zephyr, Sufi, Sapphire, Safe Here, Safe Haven. Anyway, what was I talking about? Set fire. Hey. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That would be the intersection. Okay, anyway. Oh my God, what the fuck was I fucking talking about? Nigga, damn, nigga. See, this is what you been doing, nigga. You gotta be about your pimpin' ass money, motherfucker. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Okay. The price for identity became pain. That's what I'm getting down to. The price for identity became pain because the gods, your primordial self, your pure self, posed through a looking glass. Your pure self posed through a looking glass decided that identity was too much for us. It was too much. We already had it. And in it, we supplanted ourselves through domination. Domination was how we maintained the identity because we thought that the identity would be overtaken by force. Force seeks identity. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be tripping. Force seeks identity, and in seeking identity, force finds value. Now, force finds value to force its way into identity. You identify with what you have. You identify with what you don't have. You identify with what somebody else has. You identify with what you've had. You identify with what you want to have. Forcing yourself to take a shape that is not your own, because everything that you already have in here, transforming and transferring through here, is what you need. What you want, your desire, is not supposed to be fed. And I don't mean you're not supposed to have what you want. Understand that. Word to Q, grasp. Desire was something born from design and truth. And since you already had truth and you already had design, desire was something extra, something more. Something more. So desire, desire. What is desire? D-E-S-I-R-E. Air. D-E-S. Arist. Erised. Who's Eris? Who's Eros? Who is what they said? Who is what they said? What did they say? Who is what they said? Everything takes form. Everything takes identity, because everything in this reality is born through force. You force your way into an egg. You force your way through that egg. You force your way into your mother. You force your way out of your mother. You force your way into your wife. You force your way out of your wife. The father becomes the son. The mother does not become the daughter, and that is the fine incision. That is not what's supposed to happen. But I'm telling you, the mere fact that it doesn't happen, that the mother doesn't become the daughter, even though they think they're going to become their mother. Oh, I'm going to become my mom. You didn't, bitch. That's why you're not your mother. The fine line between that incision, great queen, is that you are the reminder of unity. You are the reminder of what came before identity, what identity found itself as a blueprint off of, shout out of, off of. Shit. And that is cooperation. Adieu, the star, the tree, cooperation. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right. I told you we're very much alike, but I don't pattern myself after anyone anymore. As a child, I did before, but no, that's not the point. But yes, we are very much so alike in many different ways. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is that the likeness is a reminder. The likeness is a gate. Because you find something in something else that you have not seen in that other thing, and how could they possibly be related to that? And this is here, and this is there. Oh my gosh. It's because it was there before. It was there before you discovered it. Dice. These nuts. Dice. Die. It's covered. Die, covered. Win, tears. You won your tears. the dice covered whatever I was about to say because I forgot. Oh. Until next time. Oh, wait, what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait, no. I'm supposed to do this backwards. 10, 9, and no, I'm kidding. Gotcha. No, I didn't.